Boom! Alright, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the lab. Feels good to be back home. We took a solid little break, but I'm excited to get back here and record some content for you guys. Got a lot to put out for you over the coming days and weeks, and I figured what better way to kick it off than with a true Waves family day one in OG. That is Riot Blockchain. The reason I'm exceptionally excited to talk about Riot with you guys today is because Riot has finally re-entered a very ideal buy range for me, and pretty much the lowest levels it's seen since the bull market began all the way back in 2020. And also those levels we saw in December of 2020 play a significant role in my price targets over the near term for Riot in the case that we see more short-term downside, which honestly I do. But with that short-term downside comes more opportunities to bag up on a great company, at least in my opinion. So pretty much over the course of this video, I just want to talk to you guys about why I chose to bag up on Riot today when it saw that 8% drop. And whether you like Mara, whether you like Marathon Digital, whether you like bitfarms the most, Riot, for me personally, and many of you guys know this, is my preferred horse in the race. This is my favorite Bitcoin miner in the space for a multitude of reasons. And that is going to be the one we're covering today. But hey, if Riot does well, if Riot's bottoming out, it's pretty likely that Marathon Digital's bottoming out, that bitfarms are bottoming out as well, because these of course do share a lot of similarities, not only in company structure but in price action as well. Okay, so we are going to be touching on Riot today, but just remember a lot of these same principles or similar principles at least apply to plays like Mara and bitf as well. Okay, so we will be taking a look at Riot on the charts. On top of that, we are going to be taking a look very briefly at one of Riot's press releases. That specific press release is their recent earnings call. Okay, so Riot Blockchain announced financial results and operating highlights for the year ended December 31st, 2021. This came out on March 16th, so this is over a month old at the time of recording, but it doesn't really matter when this was. Okay, this is actually, I mean, these metrics are dating all the way back to 2021. What matters here is the staggering levels of growth that Riot is seeing year over year and is likely to, I mean, that trend, there's no reason to believe that trend will not continue. Therefore, it's more rational to believe that this trend will continue. Maybe not quite at this pace, but I mean, the growth here is staggering. So we're not going to go over many metrics. There's two very quick bullet points that I want to cover. The first is increased Bitcoin held on balance sheet by 353% to 4,884 Bitcoin as of December 31st, 2021, compared to just over 1,000 as of December 31st, 2020. So 353% more Bitcoin on their balance sheet in just the span of a year. And this one is far more staggering and far more important in my personal opinion. Okay, so total mining revenue in 2021 was 184.4 million as compared to 12 million in 2020, an increase of 1,400, almost at 14,000 again. I mean, might as well be 14,000. This is a staggering percentage increase for revenue. 1,439% year over year increase in total mining revenue. Okay, that's blockbuster, you guys. That is a staggering. That is a staggering revenue jump, okay? And the fact that, I mean, this isn't just a few $1 million we're talking. This is, I mean, it was back in 2020, but $185 million in mining revenue is no joke at all. That's a very real and very meaningful number. And the fact that Riot is currently floating in a market cap of $1.5 billion when they were able to do $185 million in a single year in revenue. Granted, it's not profitable. That is not profit for a growth company. I mean, this is bonkers. Okay, this is blockbuster. All right, so again, we will jump into the charts. I'll talk to you guys about why this range that we're currently trading in is so important and what is the lowest level I believe Riot can get to. But before that, you guys, please give the video a like. We're back. Give the video a like if you're excited to get back in the mix, get back in the grind. If you're excited to accumulate Riot for the long term like I am, if you bagged up on some Riot today, please let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you want to follow the journey, we caught Riot on this ride. Let's hope we can catch it on the next one. If you want to follow the journey, if you want to join the Waves fam, subscribe to the channel. Because if not, what are you doing? Okay, so before we get into that as well, I want to read this. Was supposed to read this before, but hey, better late than never. This was the piece on Riot Blockchain that I wrote in this morning's newsletter. which obviously do every morning. The fact that Bitcoin miners are getting so punished while Bitcoin holds is another strong testament to the fact that Bitcoin itself is a safe haven. But unfortunately, these great crypto companies are still getting punished. So actually, before I just recorded this video, I did a video on Bitcoin, simply on Bitcoin, and talking about it as a chaos hedge, inflation hedge, that will be released probably 12 hours after I release this one. So stay tuned for that. That is also why we're not covering Bitcoin today. We're simply covering Riot. But Bitcoin, a little iffy. And hey, hopefully Bitcoin goes down more, honestly, so I can pick up even more Riot at an even better rate. Okay. So Riot is actually following a very accurate trajectory to the downside price target I've had in place for a few weeks now. This target is a test of previous short-term resistance as new support. Okay, and again, we can kind of actually go back and forth because I am breaking this down heavily in this. Okay, it would also represent the test of a very significant macro level around $11.50, which has been my reversion to the mean or revisit of the initial high of the overall rally, which dates all the way back to December of 2020. So as you guys know, over this entire corrective period, I mean, I've been saying this for so long now, over the course of all these bounces, twists and turns, this roller coaster of price action across the crypto markets and equity markets, when you see a correction, way more often than not, the true bottom of that winner, of that correction. Actually, I guess the winner comes after that bottom. So the true bottom of that overall correction usually finds itself at the initial high of the current rally. Okay, so granted, Riot, I mean, it's crazy to think that Riot reached a high of over $80 during, I mean, probably the best times. Definitely the best financial times. Net worth was very happy around that time. I'm sure that a lot of you can say the same. Times have gotten a little worse, but that's okay. You guys keep your heads up. Times always get better. Anyway, the first high from that Bitcoin rally that we saw kick off back in December of 2020, the initial high for Riot, before seeing a little correction and then breaking that first high, which then went parabolic all the way up to 27, was at around $11. Okay, so therefore, $11 is going to be the initial high in my eyes of this rally. And considering we're at $12.80 right now, seeing $11 will not be surprising to me at all. And actually, in the case that Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin doing right now? In the case that Bitcoin does fall further, Bitcoin is down a little bit right now. In the case that Bitcoin and equity markets fall further, which I do believe is very possible, Riot will likely fall further as well. And I do think that it is very likely that Riot does come down to test this initial high from the initial, the rally it's still on technically, but the initial high of this current rally, of the current bull market that Riot saw back in December of 2020 at just above $11. So $11.50, I'd be very, very happy buying Riot. I'll call that my initial high. That also comes perfectly in line with, in the case that, I mean, we already broke through this previous line. I mean, actually, wait, this got messed up. I'm sorry, you guys. The daily, why is it doing this? This aligned perfectly. I think it's probably because we're on the daily. Okay, so 4 hour will probably, I mean, all right. I don't know what happened here. I was super set on that. I don't know what the heck happened. But anyway, okay, so in this case, I guess we still have tomorrow and Monday. Okay, so in the case that Riot does perfectly test, sorry about this. Slipped up super heavy right there. Anyway, the same thing still applies, right? So in the case that Riot, which I do actually think this is very possible, that's what we're getting back at. In the case that Riot, on top of seeing a very, very significant macro long-term level in its initial high of the current rally, of the current long-term bull market rally, it also retests previous resistance as new support. So boom, resistance, broke out, saw that parabolic rally in the short term, and is now on its way back down. Previous resistance will come into play as new support. In the case that Riot on April 25th does perfectly retest its previous resistance as new supports and that long-term macro level of just above $11 at the same time, that would take us to $11.10 on April 25th. Okay. So that is my Riot take, you guys. I made that way more confusing right near the end there than I needed it to. But point here, you guys, this is my buy range. If you guys have been watching my Riot videos for a long time, anytime I cover the bearish aspect of Riot, it's always been this initial high around just above $11 and just under $15. So from $11.50 to like $14.50, that is where I'm personally excited to accumulate Riot for the long term. Again, the way this company is growing, the way I've watched this company grow and evolve since I bought my first position, since I established my first position back in 2017, I've been through the absolute ringer with Riot, and watching the progress this company's made, and watching the team evolve, and watching everything they're doing and how they're scaling. It's freaking impressive. Their website is beautiful. I mean, they had a trash website before. Now their website is like one of the sick. I mean, this is very down my alley. Boom. But like, the aesthetic they've built, the brand they've built, and I mean, just I can't, you guys, the year-over-year metrics that Riot is displaying, the growth they're displaying, and it's awesome. So I love Riot. Riot will always hold a special place in my heart. It's one of the first videos I ever made. It's what kind of blew up this channel, and it is, once again, an absolute Waves fam day one. Let me know in the comments down below if you are day one as well. If you're still watching, I truly appreciate you, and yeah, I'll talk to you downstairs. So till next time, you guys. Again, feels good to be back. I'll see you soon. Till then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.